I'm Dr. Barry, licensed psychologist, and today we're going to talk about why jealousy is an illusion. Jealousy is a feeling that we've all experienced at some point in our lives, and it can be an unpleasant emotion to deal with. But what if I told you that jealousy isn't real? That it's simply a construct of our minds that we can learn to overcome? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Let's start with defining jealousy. Jealousy is often described as the feeling of being envious or possessive of something or someone. It's a feeling of wanting what someone else has and feeling resentful that you don't have it. But the reality is that jealousy is not an objective or factual emotion. It's a subjective experience that is entirely created by our own minds. And I want to give the caveat that this isn't talking about experiencing jealousy in response to my partner's behavior. Like if my partner is clearly flirting with somebody else or like that, that's different versus me being jealous of another creator or something that I think someone else has. That's the type of jealousy that I'm talking about, not a type where someone is actually doing something that's bringing up a normal, healthy emotion where that emotion is meant to drive communication and boundaries. And then you can make decisions from there. One of the main reasons why jealousy is an illusion is that it's based on the idea of scarcity. When we feel jealous, we believe that there's a limited amount of resources or opportunities available, and we feel like we're in direct competition with others for these resources. However, that's simply not true. In reality, there are countless opportunities available to us, and there's enough to go around for everyone. And even if there are these limited resources, having this negative emotion that's driving my behavior, it might actually harm my relationships and my thoughts about myself and others. Scarcity is often a tool that's even used in marketing where they say for a limited time only. McDonald's does this with the McRib, that they only offer it for this limited period of time. You never know when it's coming back. You never know exactly how long it's going to last. And it's meant to drive people's behavior. Another reason why jealousy is an illusion is that it's often based on our own insecurities and fears. When we feel jealous, we're often projecting our own insecurities and fears onto others. For example, if we're jealous of someone else's success, it might be because I'm afraid that I'm not good enough or that I'll never be able to achieve that same level of success. The reality is that our fears and insecurities are not based on an objective reality. They're simply stories that we tell ourselves that may not be completely true. And another reason why jealousy is an illusion is because it's based on comparing ourselves and others. When we feel jealous, we're often comparing ourselves to someone else and feeling like we're not measuring up. However, the truth is, we're often on our own unique journeys, and there's no one right way to do things. I see this a lot when I'm working with clients whose friends are starting to have children, or they're getting married, or my client is still single and they're comparing their life to the other person's life. And that is normal. Like we're going to compare. And I just don't want to compare all of my negatives to all of their positives. I think every stage in life, every position in life comes with its ups and its downs, and being very careful when experiencing jealousy online. Social media, especially in my experience, Instagram is the one that can kind of do this the most. It is moving away from being just a pretty pictures app, and people are starting to share more of their real journeys. And I think that's why the app Be Real is so popular with younger kids and teens, because it takes the competition of taking the best picture and using the filters and doing all those things. It takes that out to just, hey, just share something real in your life. That people are longing for real, authentic connection. And jealousy often is triggered when we aren't being vulnerable and sharing our true authentic selves, and we're not seeing the other person's true authentic self either. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and we should be focusing on developing ourselves versus comparing ourselves to others. So, how do we overcome it? So, if people are feeling jealous, how do they overcome it? The first thing to do is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing success, love, and happiness as limited resources, let's try to look at them as abundant and available to everyone. Focus on your own journey and celebrate the successes of others. And lastly, it's really important to practice gratitude for what we do have and trust that we'll get what we need when we get it. Because sometimes we set up this imaginary timeline of, okay, I want this to happen by this time and this to happen by this time and this and that. And we're missing out on what's happening in this moment. And so, my bonus tip will be to practice mindfulness. So often, anxiety drives us into this destructive, negative future. Depression keeps us tied in the past. And mindfulness helps us be in this moment and experience the good, the bad, experience it all for what it is. And gratitude helps us find the good in that moment because our brains are wired for survival. So the bad is always going to stand out more. What I'm not is often going to stand out more than who I am and what I have. And so that's where positive affirmations, journaling, those things can be helpful to intentionally focus on what is going right in my life. So, in conclusion, jealousy is an illusion. It's a construct of our own minds that we create based on our own insecurities, fears, and beliefs. When we feel jealous, we're not seeing reality as it is, but rather through a lens of our own perceptions. By recognizing that jealousy is an illusion, we can let go of it when it does come up and focus on our own personal growth and development. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.